fan, and welcome back to my channel. And today I'm bringing you a special treat. This is from the Transformers the Movie Studio Series 86 line, Dinobot Slug and Daniel Witwicky. And I was very surprised to see how big this guy actually is in hand. I remember thinking the same thing when I saw Grimlock, but I guess I just forgot. It's been a while. But anyways, yeah, this guy's massive and can't wait to get this guy open. But first, let's take a look at the packaging. So there he is in the packaging. Very standard Transformers the Movie 86 Studio Series packaging. See Takara Tomy at the top, the Generations logo, Transformers down the right side. Again, you have the movie logo there and the name of the figure. And you have a product image there, or it's more of a 3D render of Daniel riding Slug. Now, one thing I found interesting is on this image here, if you take a very close look, you do see Daniel's face right there. But if you actually look at the figure, you don't see the face. So, I mean, I understand why they did that. It would have been a lot more money to actually, have that look and stuff. It would have been really cool. But again, with these figures, I just really wish they would, not include these and just give him his sword and some weapons and things. And I know a lot of people feel the same way, but that's neither here nor there. So first of all, let's take a look at the side. You get that same image there of Daniel and Slug, Studio Series. He is a leader class. And on the other side as well, it is very much the same. You get a really cool inlay there with the 86 in the background. And again, product images, Authentics, Transformers logo there. On the bottom, you have your product information. On the top, you have that see-through window there, again with the movie logo. And on the back is where we see the product shot. So big screen inspired scale detail backdrop. So there is Slug in his robot mode. And he converts in 32 steps to his Dino mode. Just really loving that Dino mode look. And you see Daniel there, much like the wheelie figure we got with Grimlock. Not too crazy about these sort of static, non-transforming figures. But it is what it is. Dinobot Slug excuses himself as he stomps over a crushed Quintesson prosecutor. That is great. That is awesome. And there you see the backdrop that comes with Slug. Backdrop included. And some more product information at the bottom. So without further ado, let's get this big old Slug opened up and see what he's all about. All right, so here we have Studio Series 86 Slug out of the packaging and onto his backdrop. And just a quick look at him with his backdrop. Very simplistic backdrop. There he is with Daniel perched on his shoulder. So very cool. I'm going to get into more detail here in just a sec. Just thought I'd show him off with the background. All right, before we get up close and personal with Slug, let's take a look at his accessories. One accessory he does come with is his blaster, and let's take a look at that. And it came out really nice. It is cast in a gunmetal gray with a sort of pearlescent gray paint over the top. And some of the detail on this gun, on this blaster, is just really nice. The sculpt work and everything came out really nice. I really like this blaster. It's very cool. I'm happy he came with a blaster. Wish he came with a sword too, but we can't have everything, right? So yeah, very nice blaster there. Unfortunately, mine has a little bit of a scuff there. A little bit of a scratch there. I gotta be more careful with this guy, but he can hold it easily in either hand. And it is very nice that it butts up right against the edge here. So there's no interference there with the blaster. So that fits very nicely on either hand. And the other accessory he does come with, obviously, is Daniel Witwicky. And again, this is just a static figure like we did see with Grimlock's wheelie figure. It's not bad. I mean, again, I'm not too crazy about the static figures. Again, I wish they had included his sword instead of this guy, but it does have some decent paint apps on it. It has some dark blue for the hands, a little bit of yellow for the front headlights or whatever you want to call them there on his chest. A little bit of paint on the head and a little bit of sort of light bluish green paint on the legs. Other than that, some nice sculpted detail, but again, very hollow, very, it's just static. I will say one thing is that these ball joints are very, very tight on my copy. So that is very nice. Just giving a quick comparison here with the Grimlock wheelie. Again, you can see, they basically use the same legs and just the sculpt work is a little bit different. But yeah, they're not too crazy about these guys, but it is what it is. And just one more comparison. This is from the Masterpiece Bumblebee Daniel Witwicky. I wish it had come with some figure more like this. It's a little bit bigger. I'm not sure if he scales. It actually doesn't scale too bad with the Masterpiece Daniel. It's a lot better looking than the one that comes with it, that's for sure. But anyways, so he does come with Daniel Witwicky and his blaster. So this is taking off his accessories here and getting up close with this guy. This guy is just amazing. He is a beast. He's very hefty, very solid, and just first of all, taking a look at the head sculpt, it is done all in a red plastic. You get some very nice detail. You get some nice metallic blue paint for the eyes, and the sculpt work is spot on. You get a nice, beautiful, clear Autobot logo smack dab in the middle of his chest there. And just some of the sculpt work on this guy is just amazing, going down the figure. I mean, everywhere you look, it's like every little corner you turn, there's just sculpt work on the abdomens there, on his waist, on his arms. It's like everywhere. They really went all out with this figure. You do get some nice green and blue paint on the knees there. Again, going down the legs, it's just beautiful sculpt work all around. Again, you get really nice, really well done gold paint for the legs there. I mean, for the feet. Again, sculpt work all over the place. Going on the back, even under the wings here, if we can get in there close, even this back, I mean, they didn't have to sculpt this, but the fact that they did, the amount of detail, attention to detail in this figure is absolutely amazing. The sculpt work on the inside of the wings there, when he is in his robot mode, and there he is on the back, and we'll see more in Dino mode, but you can just see, again, the sculpt work, just amazing. This beautiful gold paint, and more of that pearlescent sort of grayish paint for the horns there, like we saw in the blaster. Again, I'm just gushing over this figure. I've been playing with him the past couple of days, transforming him back and forth, and just an all-around great figure. I really can't find anything to complain about, but if I did have one complaint with this figure, it is the head. We're going to get into articulation in a sec, but the head has that sort of Megatron, that Siege Megatron syndrome, with the first reiteration of the Megatron figure had that sort of, you guys know what I'm talking about. There's no like latch to keep this like solid, so his head kind of goes down. Part of that is because of transformation, but I kind of wish there was something to stop that right there. So as it is now, you can turn his head. But it's a little bit hindered by this sort of shell of his mouth part. You can take that out a little bit and get some nice articulation on his head. It is on a ball joint, so it goes 360. But again, that sort of floppiness of that piece there, I kind of wish they had just done a little bit of a little tab there, just tab it in place. Not a big deal, but yeah, it does affect the head articulation. So just putting that back down, so the head can move up and down, and it does have a little bit of, not much, a little bit of side to side. Actually, not bad side to side movement there. So I'll put that back there. His arms are ratcheted, which is really nice. And if you take these, it is hindered a little bit by the back there, but you can get them all the way around there. So it's a nice soft ratchet there. And his arms do go out like this. You have a nice joint there at the shoulders. You get a bicep swivel there. You get about almost 90 degrees because of a double joint there for the elbow. You get more than 90 degrees. You do get some wrist articulation there, so the wrist goes around. Again, that's part of the transformation as well. So you get some very nice articulation in the arms, and you do get a beautiful waist swivel, which is very nice, lots of clearance. Even taking this part off the back there, you do get some nice waist articulation. You get a upper thigh swivel there, and you get about a 90, nice ratchet at the knee. Just love that sound. You get a 90 degree at the knee. And you get that classic ankle rocker joint, which goes all the way down. So you get a really nice deep ankle rocker joint. So some beautiful articulation on this figure. I can't complain as far as articulation wise, just basically what I mentioned because of the head there. And it's really up to you what you want to do with this, the wings. I like to have them flared out, but you can kind of, if you want to put them in like that, have a more cleaner look. But I kind of like the sort of classic, 86 look there from the movie and also from the original toy. So just bringing in a Grimlock for a comparison here. Let's bring in old Grimmy here. And just for a comparison, I have him sort of posed up. So let's get him, see if we can get them both in the shot. And let's just pull the camera back a little bit. Yeah, so there they are. There's a comparison between the Studio Series 1986 Grimlock and Slug. And I think they both came out amazing. I'm especially fond of the Slug figure, especially in Dino mode. I think he just looks fantastic. So speaking of Dino mode, let's get Slug transformed into his Dino mode. So I was just curious how the Bumblebee Daniel Witwicky scaled with Slug, and he definitely looks a lot better than the static figure that he comes with. So just a quick look there. He doesn't really peg in or anything, but I was just curious sort of how he scaled with Slug. And yeah, whoa, there he goes. And not bad. So we'll just take him off there. So see you, Daniel. And let's get into the detail on this guy. So first and foremost, let's take a look at the head. You get some really beautiful gold paint for the head. You get a nice crisp Autobot logo there on the front. You have some really nice blue paint for the eyes, and it does have that sort of translucent look to it, even though it's just blue paint. Has a really nice effect. You got more of that sort of pearlescent gray paint for the horns there, and also for the back of the head there with the mane, I guess you would call it. So very cool detail, some nice sculpted detail inside the mouth, and there is a peg inside the mouth for some blast effects. And I find that the thin ones like this fit the best. That has the most best fit there. So I tried kind of putting in the fatter ones there, and it just, although it fits in, it's just kind of, I don't know, it doesn't have the same effect in my opinion. So I think just the thinner one kind of looks the best. So anyways, there is a peg there for your blast effects. And going around the figure, again, we saw a lot of the sculpt work in detail in the bot mode, but again, just all over the place, some beautiful sculpt work on this figure. I think they went all out with this guy, and it just came out amazing. Some more sort of that pearlescent gray paint for the side missiles there. Going on the back, again, more of that beautiful gold paint for the tail. And you see just sculpted detail all over the place. And much the same on the other side. And down the legs there. And you get some nice sort of dark gray plastic for the insides of the front legs there. So all in all, a beautiful sculpted figure, nice paint job, and just all around fun. The transformation is for sort of very G1 reminiscent as far as the way it transforms. It's kind of what you would expect with the Slug figure, but fun nonetheless. So getting into articulation, there's not a lot of articulation with this guy. The mouth does open and close. There is nothing really at the head. The horns don't really move so much. Because of the robot arms, you do get a little bit of in and out, and you get that nice ratchet joint there. And there's a little bit of movement on the bottom of the feet and the front. And as far as the back feet, they sort of spin all the way around because of transformation. And this part can move because this sort of tucks in to here. You know, you do get a little bit of hollowness there, but that is obviously because of transformation. So basically that just kind of, it tucks in like that for storage and for bot mode. So you do get a little bit of articulation back and forth on the back leg, nothing at the tail, and that's about it. So as far as articulation goes, there's not a lot on the in Dino mode. So he's pretty just, you can't really pose him, which is fine. I mean, he's a dinosaur, he doesn't really need to be posed. As long as we have the articulation for the bot mode, I'm totally fine with that. And just one thing I want to add is just the way they implemented the weapon storage on this guy is awesome. I really think it came out nice. So there's a port there, and there's a plug on the gun. So you just plug that in like so, and it just continues that sort of design element on the tail, which I think is really ingenious. I really like how they implemented that. A very, very cool idea on Hasbro's part. So there he is. Oh, let's get in some Dinobots comparisons. There he is with 86 Studio Series Grimlock. And that's how they sort of scale with each other. And I think they look great together side by side. And they definitely look more cohesive. And just really, I think both these figures are really well done. And I'm hoping that they do the other three Dinobots. I really can't wait to complete this set. So much better than the Power of the Primes set that came out a few years ago. I remember that Slug in the Power of the Primes. He reminded me of like a football. He just had that sort of very potato football shape. This guy they knocked it out of the park with this guy. I can't really say enough good things about this guy. And just for another quick dinosaur comparison, let's bring in Kingdom Megatron and just see how he scales with these guys. Of course, he's sort of a lot bigger than the others, but see if we can get them all in one shot there. For a Dinobot dinosaur comparison. So there they are side by side. So yeah, this has been the Studio Series 86 Slug figure. I am just in awe of this guy. He's awesome. I have very few complaints. Just that head part that I was talking about in his bot mode. That's about it. Other than that, great fun. Definitely pick him up. If you guys see this guy on the shelves or online, definitely pick him up if you can. You won't be disappointed. This has been Matt in Japan. Thanks for watching for Studio Series 1986, the movie Dinobot Slug. This has been Matt in Japan. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.